So, like we said, it was published in 1847. It was published under a pseudonym, so people did not know it was
Written by a woman.
Charlotte Bronte. I always forget.
Emily
Bronte. And Gothic literature was really popping off around this time.
Mm-hmm. Think Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, it was. I mean, when was Mary Shelley? Was this around this time?
Yeah, I think so.
Quick Google.
Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein.
Mary Shelley, you know what I love about Mary Shelley is that she wrote Frankenstein and she was the daughter of the other Shelley who wrote The Vindication of Women's Rights. Her mama was a feminist, although she died when Mary Shelley was young. And then it's rumored that Mary Shelley had sex on her mom's grave.
She was freaky.
Yeah.
I mean, she has to be.
There's like a whole thing about her. Maybe next year we'll do Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun.
What year was it published?
1818.
Okay, so
almost 30 years prior.
Yeah, so you have a lot of inspiration in this dark Gothic movement. And the thing with Gothic literature, it's more than just the environment. The environment is
a character within itself.
It really is, because within like Gothic tradition, it's more about it being psychologically darker. So that's why the environment might be a little bit darker. So that's why you have like creepy, crawly, and then later on in like more modern-ish books and movies, you have like everything is like rosy and sunshine and like the psychologicals within that. But before all that, it was a very darker setting and a darker narrative. And like we were saying, this was in a darker place, the moors, which is rural Yorkshire setting. And it's within the context of England, especially back in the day, and arguably still now, you have Northern England versus Southern England. And we're not even talking about Scotland. This is just within England. Mind you, California's bigger. So it's just really funny where they're like, the Northerns versus the Southerners. I will never do that again. That's a lie. I'll probably do it.
You probably will.
So you have Yorkshire, which is northern, and there's always been this discrimination in England that like the Southerners are more polished. They use the Queen's English. They're, much more put together.
They live in town, which is London.
Ton.
They live in the ton.
Yeah. And so they're just like more prissy. That's like kind of essentially versus the northern English are this savage, rugged, more chaotic, rural,
primitive
area. And then again, they're not even thinking about Scotland at this point.
Right,
Scotland is like even more judgment. They conquered Scotland. It's just a whole thing, free Scotland if they want to be. And you can say that Victorian readers expected this moral clarity. So when they were reading this, they wanted to be like, yes, like Northern bad, Southern good. Like that's
right. Good characters are rewarded.
Yeah.
Bad characters are punished.
And
then,
it's karma. I don't know. I mean, that's just what people expected.
Karma is a Hindu thing, Buddhist thing that comes from India, which they also conquered.
It's very unfortunate. But I mean, it really comes down to like, the classic storytelling of the classic book and hero's journey, right? And Wuthering Heights says, nah, bitch. It refuses that. It refuses the whole framework of that entirely, which made the early critics very uncomfortable. And honestly, I feel like when you have a book that's uncomfortable, you are sitting on something very good.
Right. And I think honestly today it still makes people uncomfortable, which is why people mischaracterize it as a love story, because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
With what it's really about.
It's even though, I mean, we'll talk about it even later, but even though at that time marrying cousins wasn't completely unusual.
Yeah.
I don't think it was meant to be like this heavy of the marrying the cousins.
Yeah.
Which I think is also meant to be very uncomfortable because it also shows that it's like keeping the trauma in the generation.
Yeah.
You keep it in the family.
Yeah, literally.
To
Jack's point, what you see in the book and what readers back then would see and what we're meant to see through the environment is that there's this wildness, lack of moral, social understanding versus what it means to be civilized. Because in the Victorian era, class was very rigid. It was very hard to transition from one class to another. There are just social mores that you stick to.
Yeah. And it really is like one of the themes really will be wilderness versus civilization.
Yep.
And like this book stays within one small town. You don't even go outside of town. You stay within these two homes and that's it. And even with these homes, you have the intense wilderness of Wuthering Heights, and then you have the,
Trimmed gardens.
of the Lockwood Manor, or not
Not
Lockwood,
Lockwood.
the other
Linton is
Linton Place.
Thrushcross Grange.
Thank you. So that is kind of like one of the base things that you have to know going into it.